So right now we have all these villages in the game, but there's no way to transfer from one village to another one. And eventually we'll have the ability to go outlaw and change the village and join like this. But for now, we will enable just a shortcut that you can pay some reputation points and then move to a different village. And the place that we will implement this is the same place where we have the swap bloodline and all these different settings. So basically in this video, we will implement a feature down here saying swap village, allowing you to swap from one village to another one. And to do that, we will first go to this component, the edit user profile. And here we can see we have an accordion with all these different options. And in this case, we will copy the one for swap bloodline. Should be somewhat similar. Call it swap village instead. Change your village choice. You can swap your current village or another one, and then we need to implement a cost. We'll do that the same place as we've implemented all the other costs. So here we will say cost swap village, and we'll have it cost 1 reputation point right now. It should be more expensive in the final release, I think. Should be more expensive. But we will import this. And then in our option here, we will use this cost, and it says you have this many reputation points. Fine, then we need to make the actual component, because right now if we click this one out, it'll show the bloodlines because we're including the swap bloodline component. So we will have to make one similar just for villages. We copy this, call it swap village. This one will be village. It's just a state for what you selected. Be a village type, and we probably have to import that from Drizzle. That works. That's whether the modal is open. Then we need to fetch all villages instead of all bloodlines. I don't know if we have this endpoint yet. Get all. Yeah, so that already exists. And there are not that many villages, so we just get all of them in the first go. Call this villages. Then we need a mutation for swapping the village. We need to do that on the backend. Let's wait with that for now. This is because for bloodlines we disable it if the user does not have a bloodline. We don't need to do that here. This one we call villages. This is set village. I'm sure I'm missing some of these, but just go over it once to clear up most of it. Loading villages, and then we need that cost variable here, several places. Boom, boom. And okay, so we have to do a few different things here. I think we will start by implementing this swap village on the backend, just to have the main logic down. So let's copy the one we have for swap bloodline. And so this is the backend router for bloodlines. And let's go to the backend router for village. And we paste that here and we rename it to swap village instead. This will take village ID, so that's the ID of the village the user wants to move to. We need to import this method for getting the user data. We do not need to check if the user already has a bloodline or a village. Just need to check whether the user exists. We need to fetch the village. And this fetch village method we've already defined here for convenience. And we're fetching the village with the input village ID. Check whether that village exists. This is for bloodlines where we check if the rank is the same. And we need to get the cost again for this one. So let's copy that from here. Basically, we say the cost is equal to this. If the user has more reputation points than that. No, if the cost is more than what the user has, then we need to throw an error. Yep, so that's good. What other check should we do here? I would guess if the user village ID is equal to village ID, then you're already part of that village. Doesn't make sense to do this swapping. And what else should we check? Let us just think. I think this could fail horribly if the user is in a battle or something, so we should probably check that the user's status equals to awake. If it's not equal to awake, then we need to throw an error. You must be awake to change villages. Do a short message. So we do queries just for clarity here. And then we do guards. And then once we've done all our guards on this endpoint, we do our actual update. And this one we move. So we await. Let's see what Copilot writes here. Update user data, set the village to the village ID, reputation points to this, where the user ID is equal to the session user ID and the reputation points is equal to this. That's pretty good. I think one more. Yes, this one as well. So we make absolutely sure this query is only run against users that are awake. And yeah, that should work. If this goes through, we return. Yeah, that's actually a good idea to do this base response. So right now we're throwing hard errors, which isn't really necessary. We can just return these JSONs and then we don't get, we can make a better user experience for showing those errors. There we go. So now we have the endpoint. We can go back to the component we were writing and say swap village. And that one needs to be api.village. That's the router, the gRPC router for this. Now we remove all the red. And data will be this message and success. So here we can go if data success. Then we refetch the user and we show a success message. Let's just show the data.message. And if it's not a success, we show the error. We're rolling, that's not what we're doing. Error, swapping village. There we go. That works, that works. Item with effects, this needs to be village. Key is village.id. Village.name. Here we do villages. And this one is village. Okay, I am interested to see how many things will be failing now. We get a lot of red. Nope. Okay, so the action selector component complains probably about some typing. That's fine and expected. And the item with effects component fails because that has only been used for jutsus and bloodlines and stuff like this. We haven't adapted it to also be able to show villages yet. So let's do the action selector first. It's missing the property image. Oh, that makes sense because if we go to the schema of village, we don't define the image here. We have that simply in the public folder. Yeah, here. Should we add it to the schema? I don't think I want to do that. We can just add it here. So if say the data we are returned, that's this one. Then we can say const villages equals to data. I don't know where I got that from. Not super efficient, but I think this will be fine. It's a very short array, so we do what was the location? It was in villages and then the name. We do villages. And it needs to be returned. So if we do this, now villages should be, yeah, it should have the image string as well type. So that seems to have fixed the action selector that just wanted us to have an image on our items. So that's fine. And then item with effects is still broken, but let's just comment that out for now and see if we can see this component. So we put it into our accordion. And there we go. Then we have the villages that we can select. And if we push one, then basically here, this is this item with effects. We wanted it to show that village. So let's see what we need to do to make that happen. If we, oh, didn't do that. Uncomment this again, it will. Okay, it's not hard failing, but it's not working well since it doesn't have any information here. So let's go to this item with effects. That's this component, and we're using it quite a few places in the game for bloodlines and items and stuff like this. Let's see what it takes. It takes a bloodline, item, jutsu, quest, or generic object. And I think in this case we don't want to implement village. We will just extend this generic object. I think these level and attacks and rarity, they are not strictly needed for the generic one. It fails here, but it's already doing a check, so it's just TypeScript being done. This, or me being done potentially. Okay, so for us to pass in a village type here, we need description created at and updated at, which we don't have on the village right now. But I think those fields probably make sense to add onto the schema. So we need a created at and updated at to the village. And we also needed a description. I think we'll copy how we're doing descriptions and quests. Oh, like this. Please go away with all the red. Did I do a mistake? Looks right to me. Restart TypeScript. It seems like it worked. So we push these changes to the database for now without making a migrations file. Okay. And I think when we've done this, it's usually good to restart the container as well, just to make sure that is propagated properly. And now we should have these fields. Let's see if it's still complaining. It is still complaining. It's complaining property description are incompatible. Interesting. So description can be null here. We don't want that. Do not null. And I'll do a default as well or nothing. Push those changes again to the database. Invalid use of null. I hate stuff like this. What if we just remove that field? And we add it back in with a default value. Yeah, that worked fine. Cool. And now it's not complaining anymore. So let's see how it looks if we go here, select current, get some stuff. I think it's not showing anything here because a village doesn't have any of those fields that are usually shown in that box. So this is the box, but we do have the sector. So if we just show sector in here, just to have something to show. Yeah, then we have a little bit something. What's up with this? We still need to do this check. Why is it now complaining? Because sector does not exist on any of these types, not even the generic object. But if we do like this, it exists on one of them. And since we're doing the check, it will go through. Perfect. So let's think. Did we miss anything now? I think this should actually work. Let's get this up here and try to change village to horizon. You have swapped villages. Go to my profile and see horizon. Perfect. I'm thinking I traveled to horizon, but I'm still located here. So we probably need to update the position as well. So if we go to the backend again, to this place where we are updating the village ID, we need to update the sector as well to village sector. And we need to update longitude and latitude. And those two, where did I put those? I think they're in, there's some travel constants or something. Could this be? Yes. So these are just the positions of the villages on the map, which is the same for all the villages. So we'll need to import those. Ellipse travel constants. And we put them in here. There we go. So let's try changing our village to current. And now we should jump, then we jump to the village as well. Position on the map, so that's a lot better. Okay, let's think again if we're missing anything. We have updated the schema. And we also have a seed file where we're seeding the databases, and I think this will fail now. Because here I want where we define like the villages and where they are located and their color and stuff. And that is being inserted into the database without any descriptions. But because we made a default description, that's actually fine. It's also not throwing any errors here. Perfect. So I think this feature is actually done now. We can jump between villages. Let's confirm that it's actually reducing our reputation points. We have 56 now. Go to shine, 55. That seems to work. Then the last step before we can commit this is we need to make migrations. This will make our migration file, which is basically adding these fields. And then we just need to commit all of this. My computer is slow today. Git add. What is going on here? I don't know. Let's commit it. Seems to have worked. New feature. Enable village jumping for reputation points. And we push it. And then it should be live in 1 to 3 minutes. So thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.